Yo, what is up, guys? It's Willie G's Outdoors here, and today gonna bring you a video pertaining to my last video. Basically the drone footage I shot in Colorado. Had a couple questions come back from it saying, you know, what drone did you use? I'm interested in purchasing a drone. So basically I got back to those people, but I thought, you know what? Why not make a video about the drone I used and give some real honest feedback on the type of drone I have, you know, the price range, basically the features of it, and, you know, let you go ahead and make your assumption from there and, you know, help you out with your next purchase of a drone. All right, guys, so getting into it, the drone that I purchased and was used in the my last video, which if you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. The drone footage occurs towards the end of the video, so go check that video out. Anyways, the drone that I have right here is the Holystone hs720. The price range that I bought this for, I bought it around Christmas time and I got a good deal on it. I bought it for 250 bucks. Right now I'm looking at it here on Amazon. It's selling right now for 300 bucks. So I got 50 bucks off on it. And, you know, this is exactly how it comes, which is actually pretty cool because it's easy to travel with. So anyways, let's get into it. Let's open this thing up and see what we got here. So basically, when you open this thing up, you obviously, here's the drone. Extremely compact, very little, but the material on it is actually very nice. Very sturdy, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Here's your charging cable, which is actually pretty cool, guys. If you can see here, it only comes with one battery, but you are able to purchase two batteries. So, you know, if one dies, you always got that spare, and you can actually charge both of them at the same time. So that's a pretty cool feature on it. Here is the actual battery that comes with it, and I'll get more into that. And then here is a controller. Pretty compact, you know. Nothing too fancy. Here's the little spot that holds your phone. Pretty straightforward. So, and then obviously up here, you know, you got your manual and a couple other books to kind of help you along the way. So, getting into it further, I'm gonna break down the pros and cons of what I think comes with this drone, to basically give you an honest review of it, and see if that's something you're interested in. So let's get right into it. All right, guys, before I hop into the pros and cons of this video, if you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't signed into YouTube yet, or you don't have a YouTube account, it's gonna ask you to sign into your Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, it takes like 2 minutes to set up a Gmail account, guys, and it'll let you go hit that subscribe button. You won't miss any of my videos. Go give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment on what you thought, anything, guys. It's greatly appreciated. Now, let's hop into the pros and cons of this drone. All right, guys, starting off with my pros here, I'm gonna give you 3 pros that I think comes with this drone. Number 1, guys, there's not many drones out there that are gonna come in a case like this. I mean, this is a very nice case. Easy to travel with. You know, even if you're traveling like I was across the country, threw it in my book bag like it's nothing. Wherever you're going, I mean, it's so compact. I mean, I would say it's 12 by 8, roughly. I mean, it's very tiny, which is extremely, extremely nice to travel with it on the go. Another one, guys, flying time. This is a big one for me because I've flown other drones, and I mean, flying time is sometimes 7 minutes, you know, sometimes maybe 10. And the big thing is when you're actually recording a video, your flying time goes down substantially when you're recording video as you're flying. But for this drone, it is said to last up to 26 minutes. Now, I'm not sure if that includes while recording or not. I haven't dove into it that much, but while I'm recording, I've taken up to 15-minute videos with this drone on full battery while I'm recording, and it still had a quarter battery left. So I would say while recording, I would give it 20 minutes, which is crazy. while you're not recording, like I said, up to 26 minutes. This drone, for the size of it, is extremely stable when it's up in the air. I'm going to put a little clip up towards the end of this, after this review, just to show you guys the stability. I mean, it will literally, you won't even have to touch the controls, and it'll just stay in place. In this video I have upcoming, it had roughly 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, and I mean, I wasn't even touching it. And it was just staying in place, which is, it's mind-blowing because, you know, I've flown other drones, and as soon as there's winds from 5 to 10 miles an hour, it'll completely move that drone around. But this one, I mean, it is very stable. And actually in this video, it's so stable, and I've only flown this 4 times, keep in mind. It was so stable that when I was flying over the river, I was actually able to land on a little island on the river. Like, I wasn't even worried about getting it dropped into the river, like, at all. And guys, I'm a beginner using this, and you know, I just feel like this is a very nice beginner drone for the price range. I mean, you're gonna find cheaper drones out there, but for the price range and the quality that this brings, I mean, it's a very, very good deal. And you know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But first, let's get into the cons right now. All right, guys, I was only gonna do 3 pros for the drone, but you know, as I was going, I was like, oh man, I thought of another pro, and this is a huge one, guys. So, as the battery is starting to die on this drone, it'll automatically come back to you, and it'll land exactly where you took off from, which is, I mean, no one really knows when the drone's gonna die. There's a battery indicator on the controller, but I mean, you know, there's people out there like me that are gonna push it to the very end, but before it actually dies and just, it's not gonna completely drop out of the air, it's actually gonna come right back to you wherever it was. This will actually start beeping, and it's gonna land exactly where it took off. So that's a big one, guys, especially if you're flying over water, like I'm gonna show you in this next video. You have nothing to worry about if it's gonna start dying, because it's gonna come right back to you. So that's another huge pro of this drone. All right, guys, hopping into the cons. I got 3 cons for you guys that come with this drone. Number 1, and this is a big one to me, and it drives me absolutely crazy. So when you have this controller, you have this little thing that's gonna, this is for your phone. Guys, I have the iPhone XS, and when I have a case on, it definitely doesn't fit in here. And when I take my case off, it wants to pop out all the time. And these buttons here, which this button right here, this is the video button, which I'll get into that. I'm gonna break down this controller further coming up. But when my phone's here, I can't push either of these buttons. And it's in the way, it pops off, it drives me nuts. So, I mean, that's a big one. I haven't found any way to get past this. I've been trying to find ideas to make it work, but I just haven't yet. So that, I mean, that's a big one right there. It doesn't hold my phone nice. So I don't even put my phone in it. I put my phone next to me, so when I could see what I'm doing, what I'm videoing, sitting right next to me, because it pops out all the time. So going straight to number 2, you'll see in this video, and you might, I believe it was in my last video, when the drone is taking video, the camera can tilt like this. I think it's roughly 90 degrees. It has a 90-degree tilt. When it is all the way up, looking straight out, you can see the propellers, the front propellers, in the peripherals of the camera, in the very corners. And you know, maybe you like that, but me personally, I don't really like that. I want a clean, crisp video. And you know, when I have the propellers going, it doesn't look good to me. And you know, the way to get past this is you can't look at a directly 90-degree angle straight out. You almost gotta go roughly 10 to 15 degrees down, and the propellers disappear. So it's not a huge issue, but you know, that's just something I've found out flying this drone. As you hopping into number 3, guys, and I'm gonna get into this too. It's kind of a process to set this drone up to fly. There's a few steps that you have to take every single time when you're first starting off flying this drone. And I'm going to get into it. I'm going to show you guys what it is, because, you know, it can take you 3 minutes. And if you don't do it right every time, basically it won't calibrate right, because this is a GPS drone. So actually, when you calibrate it and start the drone up, it knows exactly where you are using GPS signal. It'll actually show on the maps on your phone when you download the app. It'll show exactly where you are on, like, it basically looks like Google Maps. So you got to go through this process to calibrate it, to know, to help it find out where it's actually at. All right, guys, gonna break down the drone a little further. So when you're first starting the drone up, these are the steps you want to take. First, you're gonna power it on like this. Hold this red lock button, hold it down, and slide over the power button. There you go. Shows you that it's turned on. Got the interface lighted up. Next step, go ahead, push the drone button. Oh, I guess it helps if you put the battery in. Battery slides in right in the back, clicks in. Button's right on top. Go ahead and push it. You can hear a couple beeps. After that, D. Now it's ready to calibrate, guys. So the calibration goes like this. You hold it horizontal. You have to turn it 1, 2, 3 times. And as you see, guys, it lit up green there. That means it's good for that step. Next, hold it upward 1, 2, 3 times. Now you can see, guys, the lights aren't flashing anymore and it's solid. This means it's good to go. Next step would be to actually get your cell phone, connect to the drone, which you go to your settings, go to your Wi-Fi, and it'll actually pop up Holystone Wi-Fi. Connect to that Wi-Fi, and then you would want to go into the app, pull the app up, hit the next button, and when you do that, you should see exactly what this camera is seeing. Now, granted, I'm recording with my phone, so that's why I don't have it and showing you guys this. But, so after that, you're good to go. Those are the steps you need to take in that order to properly get this drone up. So, next, you're going to want to unfold the drone, which these just snap right out. And you have to do the front before the back. And then it's good to go. When you're at this stage, all it takes is pushing this red lock button. It's going to do that. The next step would be hit the one button takeoff, which is top left corner. Which you guys can't see it, I'm flying it behind. But yeah, that's all it takes, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and land this real quick before I go ahead and break something. Alright guys, so this is the interface of the Holystone app. And to hop right in it, here's the right side of the app. In the top right hand corner, this is basically what is going on with the drone. You know, you got your altitude, you have your distance from where you're actually standing, you know, the battery level, the remote control level, the signal strength. Basically, there's the record button. You can use the features on the app, but you can also use the features on the controller, which I believe it's easier to just use the controller to shoot a video or to use the photo mode. The next one you can see there is tap fly, and this is a really cool feature, guys. Basically, what happens is you would have to use this on the phone interface, but what happens is when you hit that, you can actually draw out a track on this GPS map. So like I said, it looks like Google Maps, and you can actually draw like a line of basically where you want the drone to fly. Click go, and it'll actually fly that exact path that you've drawn. So that's a really cool feature. Alright guys, now hop into the left side of the app here. The top buttons, I don't find them very useful, minus the settings button in case you want to change some settings around. But the buttons I do find useful and I like to utilize is obviously the return to home switch, which will just send the drone right back to where it took off, which there's also a button on the controller for this. The second one is point of interest, and this is pretty cool. Wherever you're standing, you can set a radius of how big of a circle you want the drone to circle. So you can change that radius size and it will actually do a complete circle of wherever you're standing. And the last one is follow me switch, and it's basically pretty self-explanatory, guys. You click this button, and if you start walking, the drone will actually follow right behind you. The last thing on this, guys, is the little gray box in the bottom left corner. This is basically showing you whatever the camera is seeing. And you can actually click on that gray box, and it will actually expand to the full size of your screen. And it'll basically eliminate the Google Map image. And you can switch back and forth basically depending on whatever you're doing with the drone. So now, guys, I'm going to show you actual footage from the drone. And I was actually flying over the Rocky River located around Cleveland, Ohio. And basically show you how stable it is and some cool clips of how I landed it actually on a little island located in the middle of the river.